Beautiful folks, what is up and how are you doing? This is Valentine the Plug. Look, you can guess what we're about to do. I got my chord progression here and ready to go. So follow me and you bet not slip. So we're here in FL Studio again. I got a relatively simple chord progression that I want to break down with y'all, of course. Starts off with a C minor ninth chord that transitions into a D dominant chord, dominant 7 chord, that goes into a G minor chord, that goes back into that D dominant 7 chord, that then transitions into what is actually an inverted G minor chord, and that then goes into an augmented D chord using the raised fifth as a root note. Sounds very esoteric and complex. What it sounds like is this actually. So that's what it sounds like. I'm pretty happy about that chord progression. One little thing that I want to break down is my use of separate steps before I proceed to the next chord. And let's take this one as an example. See, what I could have done, I could have just played that D dominant 7 chord twice, in fact, actually, and let it rock. I decided to add another step because the cool thing about chord progressions is it's like a journey, right? And a journey, let's say you're reading a book. A book has chapters, but a book also has preludes. And at the end of the chapter, there's always something that leads into the next chapter, like your to be continues. And that is something that I try to do with chords as well. I mean, everybody expects you to go, if you have a simple 2-5-1 chord progression, everybody expects you to go back to that tonic after your dominant. But what happens when you add a subdominant before you hit your dominant? What happens if you add an extra step before you hit your tonic? You make that more interesting. And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I'm advising y'all to do if you're looking to make R&B or even Playboy Cardi type beats, with those very lush ambient chords. You can do that as well. So this is the chord progression, and what we're going to do now is just add elements. And I feel like adding a melody with a nylon guitar. I haven't done that in a minute. So when it comes to nylon guitar or acoustic guitar, I could use picked acoustic from Native Instruments, but today I feel like using All Reliable, and that is the Evolution Modern Nylon from Orange Tree Samples. Okay, so as you can see, I didn't exactly play a original melody, a new melody. I decided to just use broken chords, and I feel that broken chords sound extra saucy on either an acoustic guitar with steel strings or a nylon guitar. So this is what I'm going with. This is what it sounds like, and we're just gonna build on that. It doesn't really speak to the imagination, but just bear with me. And what I'm gonna do now is I have a cool little setting. This hollow body, this nylon guitar allows for all cool kinds of embellishments such as hammer-ons and slides and grace notes. So I programmed it so that at a certain velocity it triggers the hammer-on, and that's what I'm gonna use. I just feel like I got something, and I got something so good that I immediately just want to start building the beat. So I'm gonna just take out some drums. I'm gonna just take out some simple drums that we can lay under this. I immediately know which hi-hat, which snare. That comes with experience, so I encourage you to just make a lot of beats, and you'll immediately recognize which are your favorite sounds and your favorite kits. Alright, so let's see if we can come up with a nice and clean bass line for this beat. One thing that I do have to admit, I know very little about bass. So that means that everything I'm doing with my limited knowledge of bass. If you really want to know how an instrument works, learn how to play it. That's my advice. That's everybody's advice. But bass is purely imagination. So there's a lot of techniques that I won't be able to utilize. We're just gonna have to make do. Every time that I see you, every time that I see you, don't you, why don't you, why, every time that I see you. So I use a couple of processing effects to tweak nearly anything, EQ, choral, chorus, phaser, but I want to pitch this one down an octave. I think it sounds better. Alright, last thing that I feel like adding, what the beat absolutely needs, and after that all is just extra, but I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm going to be copying this pattern again, and then I'm just gonna take out my trusty or reliable, the MVP, the only reason why my beats aren't absolute garbage, the soul center, whatever. I'm just gonna be taking out electric sunburst for this one, because I do want it to play a nice little pattern with an electric guitar. Alright, beautiful people, I am super blessed for having y'all join me and watching me cook up this dope beat. When I think of artists that would definitely fit on this beat, I'm thinking Ty Dolla $ign, I'm thinking Bryson Tiller, Black would be a good fit too. And there's many more that I can't think of right now that would fit in this beat. But either ways, as I said, I am blessed to have y'all joining me for this cook up. I'm blessed to have y'all listening to my rambling. I'm super thankful for all the subs, likes, comments, support I get. I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for just watching me do me. And I definitely hope to see y'all in the next video and the videos after that. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.